So I've often been curious about this first 30 years of Jesus's life. In the scripture, we don't really have anything but the birth narrative, and then we have when Jesus is 12 and he goes to the temple and he teaches the teachers, right? But besides that, nothing. And so in my imagination, I'm just thinking of all of these crazy things that Jesus was doing when he was a kid. You know, he's like levitating his alphabet blocks and he's like bending spoons or, what was he doing? Or what if the reason that we don't have that information is because it was so boring? What if Jesus just got up in the morning and brushed his teeth and made his bed and washed the dishes, and he was a manual laborer, so he just goes to his day job and he comes home at the end of the day and he feeds the dog and goes to bed? Like, what if his life was just so ordinary that there wasn't even anything to record? What if the thing that's so exceptional about Jesus's life, those first 30 years, is that nothing exceptional happened? What if the thing that's so amazing and impressive about Jesus' first 30 years is that it wasn't amazing or impressive? It was just ordinary human life. And maybe there's some hidden blessing, some surprising stamp of dignity on ordinary human life. Because I know in my life I'm always trying to find some way to grab more attention or be interesting or impressive or more impactful or effective or efficient or productive, right? This is the kind of language we use, even that the church has adopted from an industrial and corporate culture, and this has made its way into our hearts, that we feel like we have to be a big deal in order to be valuable, right? And one thing that's interesting to me is, do you remember Mary would use this phrase, or the scriptures use this phrase about Mary, that she would, something would happen and she would treasure this thing in her heart, or she would ponder it in her heart. I love that phrase. Or how Jesus would do some crazy miracle, and he'd heal somebody, and then the very next thing would be, now don't tell anybody. Don't go advertise this miracle that I just did. And so Jesus has this very counterintuitive mindset. He values this kind of hiddenness, this kind of secretive life, this kind of ordinariness. G.K. Chesterton is one of my favorite authors, and he was a journalist. And one of the things he said is, if you want a good gauge of reality, he said, the last place you want to look is the news. He said, look, I'm a journalist, and the whole point of journalism is to report on exceptional things. In other words, things that are exceptions to the rules. Journalism doesn't report on what's normal, it reports on what's abnormal. On the other hand, art, the job of art is to report on how exceptional ordinary things really are. I used to think that God was trying to impress me by saying that he could count every hair on my head. Like he's saying, look what I can do. I'm so capable. You should worship me. Am I not incredible? But the closer I look at the context and the sort of intention of that passage, it's not about God impressing you with what he's capable of. It's what's really impressive about that passage is that God would do something like that. It's not impressive that God can turn water into wine at a party. It's that he would turn water into wine at a party. I think somehow, in this mysterious way, the most valuable things in life are not the things on the big billboards that the celebrities are shouting out with, pretty faces, but this wonderful, expansive life is actually hidden in these little secret places that are just waiting there for someone to pay attention to how exceptional they are, and celebrate them. And it may be that we are, each of our lives are like these little sweet secrets, these little hidden corners that God only knows about, but he keeps and he ponders in his heart these little lives, and he keeps them close to him, in his own heart.
Yes, he keeps you like a secret, your beautiful secret life.